Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning, Ajan.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Achal. Good morning.
So now we can continue our lecture. So this is our new chapter, chapter number 2. So we can continue this one. Okay. So I just want to tell you that first I just want to confirm everyone can listen me and everyone can see my share screen, right? Just anyone can give me the feedback.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can
Then first I have an announcement that because we finished our chapter number 1, which was digital system and binary numbers. So maybe after this class, so maybe this evening or maybe by tomorrow, I will upload some practice questions for you. So you have to solve that questions and you have to submit the homework for that questions. So the questions will be from your book, which I have already uploaded on your Microsoft team. So you can go to the chapter 1 and at the end of the chapter you have some practice questions, but I will tell you which one you have to do. So just you have to do only that question and then make a homework, and you have to upload the homework on your Microsoft team. So I will announce the deadline and the due date for that homework. So but you can do the practice so that you know how we can solve, or how we can do different conversions and how we can design different circuits and many things. So just do the practice for that one. So I will upload the question maybe today evening or maybe by tomorrow. So this is the announcement for you guys. So now we can continue our chapter number 2. So our chapter number 2 is, sorry,
Teacher,
yes, yes,
I was 5 minutes late to class.
what?
I was 5 minutes late to class.
Sorry,
I was 5 minutes late to class.
you are 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
It's okay, no problem. Okay, I still not mark the attendance. Okay, don't worry. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
Ajan.
so now we can continue from our this one, our today's lecture, which is from the chapter number 2. So which is the Boolean algebra and logic gates. So this book is already uploaded on the Microsoft team. So you can also download the book. So I hope every one of you have that book already. But just want to mention one more time. So this is a chapter 2, Boolean algebra and logic gates from your book, and the overview means this is the complete overview. Okay, so this is, I have uploaded half slides. So half slides I will upload next week, but the overall topics that we will study in this chapter, not this lecture, in this chapter overall, chapter number 2. So we will study about the so we will study about binary logics and gates in the detail. We will study about Boolean algebra. What is the Boolean algebra? Then we will also study about axiomatic definition of Boolean algebra. Then we will study about basic theorems and properties of Boolean algebra. And then we will study about Boolean functions, then canonical and standard forms, then some other logical operations, digital logic gates, and integrated circuits. So in this week, I am not sure we can finish today, but I think maybe this week and the next week, maybe on Monday, this one is our maybe we can say this is our week 3. So we will do this one, we will do on this one on Wednesday, and we will do on next Monday, this one, and then this one we will do on week 4, and we will do on Wednesday, next Wednesday. This one we will do in next Wednesday, and maybe on Monday of week 5. Okay. So we will do about this one. So now let's start from the first one is about the binary logics and gates. So, okay. Now, when we say about the binary logics, so normally in binary logics and gates, first thing, let me recall you about the binary variables. We have a binary variables, and recall that two binary values have different names, because normally we have in when we say about the binary numbers or binary variables, so we have a two states. Either normally we say we have a state like 0 or we have a state 1, but this 0 and 1 have a different meanings. Okay, for example, we can say when we say recall the two binary values have a different name, we can say either is it true or false. So we will also use the word on and off. Sometimes we use this word like yes or no. So yes means 1, no means 0, or we can also say 1 0. So 1 means, or maybe we can also use one more term if you read some this one. So 1 is high and then low. So normally when we say true, it means it is 1. When we say false, it is 0. When we say on, it is 1. When we say off, it is 0. When we say one, yes, it is 1. When we say no, it is 0. And then when we say high, it is 1. When we say low, it is 0. So these are the different, binary values and having different names. Okay. So we use 1 and 0 to donate two values, and then variable identifier examples. So variable identifier means we can also use the variable like a, b, or maybe x, y, z, or maybe x1 from now on something. And sometimes we use the word reset. Reset means when we want to finish everything and want to reset everything. When we want to finish clean up memory. So then we say reset, and we have a like start it, or we have a add one or later. So this one we will study about later. But normally we use the variables a, b, x, y, z, or x1. But remember, just we use 1 and 0 to donate the two values. So these are about the binary variables. Next is we have a logical operators. So we just discussed last week, if you remember, and I mentioned over there that we have 3 basic logical operations. Okay, we have a 3 basic logic operations. We say the first operation is and I hope and we represent with this one dot. Then we say or. Okay, and or we represent with this one. And then when we say not, so not we use either bar. Okay, so we use bar, or we also use like this slash. Okay, so we use these symbols. We have a 3 logical operations, and from this logical operation we can design many more operations. Okay, but the basic one is these 3 and or and. So from these and or not we can make many more circuits, but the basics are these 3s. And now, as I mentioned above, so and is denoted as a dot. Okay, so and we can denote it by a dot like this. So we say normally and, so we will read and, okay. And or is denoted by a plus, so we say or. And not is denoted by a over bar, so we can use a over bar, or we can also use a quote mark. And sometimes we will use this tilde as well, okay, this tilde before the variable. So for example, if we want to take the complement, so normally we say delta of a, so it means the not operation. Or for here we say like this, and for this one we say like a of this one. So it means if a is a variable, so take the not operation for this one, so take the not operation. And for and is minimum two variables, and maximum we can do, and how many inputs we have, okay. And then we have a or, so in or we can take a two or more than two variables. But not is just for one variable, like a bar, a quote, a slash, or maybe, and then the third one is we have a tilde of a, so we say this is a not operation. So these are the logical operations. And now the example for this one is, now the notation examples, how we can read this one. So when we say y is equal to a dot b, so normally we not read dot, we will say y is equal to, so we read is y is equal to a and b, so we read this one, okay. And second, when we say z is equal to x plus y, so normally we read z is equal to x or y, so this is the or operation, okay. So this is this, so that's why I say now don't confuse about the binary addition and this logical gates. So don't confuse about binary addition and these logic operations. And then, for example, this third one, x is equal to a bar is read as x is equal to not a. Okay, we read like this. And now the important thing which I just mentioned already, that if we say 1 plus 1, so normally it is 2. So but 1 plus 1 equal to 2 is not the same as 1 plus 1 is equal. So this one is addition, okay. So this one is addition. But here in the logical operation, when we say 1 plus 1, so it means 1 or 1. It means both inputs are high. So when both inputs are high, it means our output is also high. So we read this one as read 1 or 1 equal to 1. So means both inputs are high. So it means our output will also be high. So this is because you remember the last week I taught you about how we can do the OR operation. So OR operation is to do the addition, like maybe if you just want to recall. So yeah, this one, if you remember. So when we say we have a OR, so we have an input x1, this one, so we have a this one OR 1 or 1, we have an output 1 because both inputs are high. So this is the for OR operation. I hope you remember this thing. So don't confuse this one. This is 1 plus 1, so this is equal to 2, or this one 1 plus 1, so we have a number is 1 0, binary addition. So this one is different, okay. This is the logical operations. So this is the logical operation. Okay, next is we have a now, next is we have a operator definition. So next is we have a operation definition, operator definition. So now for operations are defined on the values either 0 or 1 for each, right? And this one is also the same, okay? Like which I told you, normally when we have a two variables, so remember two variables have four possible inputs. And then when we have a three variables, so three variables have 8 possible combinations. Input or we say combinations. Similarly, when we have a four inputs, so four inputs have a 16 combination. So you can do 2 power n, okay? So n means variables. So let's suppose if n is 2, so 2 power, maybe I can write here. So we can write like this one in the form of 2 power n. So now here 2 power n is 2, so this is 4. So that's why we have a 4 possible combinations. Now 2 power 3 is equal to 8. That's why we have a 8 combinations. Now this one 2 power 4 is equal to 16. That's why we have a 16 possible combinations. Okay. So n means the number of variable. Now for this one AND operation. So for AND operation, we can do like if we say this is our x and y. Okay. So then we have a 4 possible combinations are these are. So when we say 0 and 0, so it means this input is low, this is also low. So low into low is we have a low. Now we have an input low and this input is high. But when any input is low, we will get low. We will get low value. So this is for AND operation. This is the characteristic of AND. Now, if you see here, so if you see here now, this one is high, input is high, this input is low. So when any input is low, we will get low. Okay. Now for this one is we have a input. So this input is high. So next input is also high. So this input is also high. So when high and high, we will get our output is high. So this is the characteristic of AND operation. Next is we have a OR. And let's suppose we can say this is again X or Y. So now X is, we have this one is low and low. We will get low output. For OR is when any input is high, we will get high. So high and low, we will get high. So just remember the rule for OR is when any input is high, we get output high. Okay. High means 1. Or high means on. So just remember this thing. Just I use this word, okay? This one. So you can use like, so you can use like high. So you can use either high or you can say low or you can say on or you can say true. So this is the same meaning, okay? This is the same meaning. Okay, and next is, and for AND is, I can just write here for AND when any input is low, we get output. When any input is low, we get output low. And second, we get high output. We get high output only. We get high output only when all inputs are high. Okay, when all inputs are high. Otherwise, we will get low. Next is not. So not is like maybe X. So when we say 0 bar or 0 complement or 0 not operation, so it means change this state, change its state. If it is low, make it high. If high, it will make it low. So now 0 is low state. It means this is high. Now this is high, so we get low. Just opposite. If we have a 0, make it 1. If we have a 1, make it 0. This is for not operation. Okay, so these are the operator definitions. And next is this one, we can normally write in the form of the truth table. And this one is actually the truth table. Okay, this one is actually the truth table. So what is truth table? So the proper definition for truth table is it is a tabular listing of variables of a function for all possible combinations of values on its argument. So this is a proper definition for truth table, that it is a tabular listing of the variable of the values of a function for all possible combinations of values on its arguments. So this is a definition for truth table. And the same thing is just what we did the last slide. It is the same thing. Okay, this is the same thing, but the meaning is the all possible combination of the values on its argument we can represent in the form of the truth table. So when you see something like this one, so we say this is a truth table because we want to show the all possible combination of the input, all possible combinations of values of the input. So this is for truth table. Next is for the logical function implementation, that how we can do the logical function implementation. So just this one is a representation like in the form of the switch, that what is the meaning for when we say our input is 1 or 0. So 1 we say it is high, or it is yes, or it is on, right? When we say 0 it is low, no, or off. So we just want to show this one in the form of, so we just want to show this in the form of the switch. How we can show this one in the form of the switch? So now let's take an example for input. Now when we say the logic 1, it means the switch is closed. Okay, so we can add one more here, is on or it is closed or it is open. So you can see we have a different meaning for 1 and 0. So we have a different meaning for 1 and 0. So 1 means either it is high state or it is yes state, or it is on state or it is closed switch. So we can represent in the different form. So now let's suppose like we have this one for input logic 1 is, switch is closed, and logic 0 means switch is open. Open means not connect. Open means not connect. And now for the output, when we say logic is 1, it means light is on. And when we say logic 0, it means light is off. Okay. And when we say not uses a switch, such as when we say logic 1 is switch open, because not means opposite. Okay, so it will be opposite to this one, opposite of this one, because for not operation logic 1 is, here we have logic 1 which means switch is closed, but here it means switch is open because we have a not operation. So not means when we have a 1 make it 0, if we have a 0 make it 1. So it is opposite. What we have, it is opposite. So logic 1 is switch closed, it means logic 1 switch open. When we say logic 0 switch open, it means logic 0 switch closed. So opposite. Okay, so this is the logical function implementation. So this is an example for the logical operation. Now next is we can take this example. We can take this example, logic using switches. Or maybe one more thing I can explain you here in this diagram. Now this is a representation for your OR, switch in parallel. Switch in parallel. Now we say, let's suppose this is our bulb. Just take an example. This is our light or bulb. Our light. So our light will glow when this both switch are closed, like this one and this one. So when it is closed, it means this is one state. This is also one state. And we know for OR, and we know for R, when it is 1 1, we get 1, switch is open, right? And when we say, like, you remember, if we say this one is like open and this one is closed, it means this is 0 and this is 1. And you remember for the OR operation, we said when any input is high, we will get output high. So you can see now this is this one. Now this one is open, but current will go this way, go this way, and go this electric bulb, and then your bulb will glow and your circuit is complete. So you can see now this is a demonstration for OR, that when any input is high, high means like switch is closed. So switch closed, this bulb will on. So this is a example for OR gate. Now let's take an example of AND. So AND means switches are in series. So now you can see for AND operation, we say when like our input is like, for example, this is for AND, and like X and Y, and we have a 0 0 1 1, and we have a 0 1 0 1. And what is our output? Our output is like 0 0 0 and 1, if you remember. So when we get our, this bulb will glow, our this bulb will glow when this is closed and this is also closed. It means this is 1, this is 1, so we get 1. So it means this switch is closed, this switch is also closed, then this bulb will glow. Now let's suppose this is 0, so it means now this one is open, this one is open, so this is closed, this is 1, this is 0, then the current cannot flow, so bulb will be 0. So this is an example of AND. This is an example of the AND, like in series. So in AND, switches in series. And when we say the NOT operation, normally close switch, NOT operation. Then if we say this switch is open, so when we take the complement, so it is closed. So like if we say we have a X and X bar, this is 0, this is 1, this is 1, this is 0. So now let's suppose we have a 0, 0 bar is 1, so it is closed. When closed, this bulb will be high. And now when we say this is maybe open, so then this is open, 0. So normally closed switch is the NOT operation, okay? So this is the demonstration for the logical function implementation using switches. Okay. Any one of you have any question here? Anyone has any
I
question?
don't think so, yeah.
What?
I mean, no.
Okay. Okay, if no, so then we can move to the next one. Okay, now take an example for this one. So for this one, now for this case is, we have example logic using switches. Okay, logic using switches. Now we have a light is on for, so we have to find the function. So we have to find the function for which this we will get 1 here. So 1 means this bulb will be on. Okay. So we want this light is equal to 1, so light can glow. The light can glow. So then how we can do this one? So we have to find the function for this one. So now what is this? L is equal to what? L is equal to what? So now we know that when we have a this one, so this one will be in series because this one is in series. So it means this is B and C not, right? And this one is parallel. So it means this one will add up with this one. Okay. And then it means this one is now B dot C prime plus D. Okay, this box. Now for this switch is connected with in the beginning, right? So it means this one is multiply. So it is now the answer for this one is now B and C prime plus D, and now this one is before, right? So it is multiply. So we can say A and this one. So we can write this one is A and B and C prime plus A and D. This one. Okay. So this is the state. Okay. So this is the L hour. And now for this one is we can see now here. So this one is our all is our AND operation. This is also AND operation. And this one is our OR operation. Or this one. Okay. So this is our OR operation. So now useful model for relay circuit and for CMOS gate circuits, the foundation of circuit digital logic technology. So we can use some kind of technology in digital circuits, or when we want to design the MOSFET or some transistors. So over there we use the logical gates. So this is an example for logic using switches. Okay. Next is we have this is again for the logic gates. So now for in the logic gates, So normally we say in the earliest computer, so this is just like give you an example for the logic gates where we use the logic gates. So actually in the earliest computers, as we know that switches were opened or closed by magnetic field produced by energizing coil in relays, and the switches in turn open and close the circuit path. So the switches can be used to turn on or close the circuit path. And then later on we use the vacuum tubes that open and close the current path electrically, and they replace the relays, and we replace the relays. However, today we are using transistors which are used as electronic switches, which are used as electronic switches, and that open and close based on the current path. So we are using like a transistor is an example of the logical gates. So let's take an example for this one is like we have this one. When we say we have a AND, let's take an example for when we say we have these are the different gates. Okay, this is the gate one, some type of which we say NOR operation. This is the some type of NAND gate. This is some kind of NOT gate. So actually how we can implement this one? So we use some transistor devices or CMOS or some transistors. Okay, or we use some MOSFETs. So these are the so implementation of logic gates with the transistors. So we can that design the logic gates by using the transistors. So we can use different one. Let's take an example here is CMOS. Okay, so we have a like a NOR gate, we have a NAND gate, so we have a NOT gate. So when we say NOT, like when we say our input is 0 and we get X and X bar is 1, and then we say this is 1, this is 0. So actually for this one, so our X is this one input and our X bar is this one. So inside we have these transistors, these CMOS circuit. So we have a CMOS circuit. Okay. So this is an example for the logic gates. This is an example. Okay, I am not saying here that how this thing comes, because this is just give you an overview here. But we will design the logic gates very soon, maybe within few days, or maybe next week we can design the logical gates as well. But first we want to know about the Boolean algebra, how the Boolean algebra is working, like, and how we can design our circuit. Okay, now this one we already studied this one the last week, that our when we say z is so now for this one is we have a like this is the symbol diagram for our AND gate for two inputs when we have an input 1 and input 2. This is for OR gate, but these shapes you have to remember. Okay, these shapes you have to remember for AND gate, for OR gate, for NOT gate, maybe NAND and NOR as well. So we have an input X, we have an input Y, and for here we have a NOT gate or inverter. So we have a X, and the output is X bar. So here maybe it's like a typo. So maybe this one is actually, so this is actually Z is equal to X or Y. And for this one, Z is equal to Z is equal to X bar. And this is, I already told you last week here, like we have a timing diagram, this one. We have a timing diagram. So this timing diagram is based on our input combinations. Okay. Like let's suppose when we have a two variables, let's suppose when we have a two variable X and Y. So normally when we say X and we say Y, let's suppose we have a this X, this is Y. So we have now X is 0, 0, this is 1, 1. So this is 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, just wait. My pen has stopped working. Maybe the battery is finished. Just wait a moment, 1 minute. Yeah, just wait. Just wait 1 minute. The pen can charge. So any one of you have any confusion here? Any one of you? Any question until now regarding this course? Do you guys have any question regarding this course?
No, sir.
No. Is it going good?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, then it's good. Okay, I think it's enough. We can use this one. Okay, so now you can see here. Now we have, this is our inputs. Now we want to draw in the form of the timing diagram. So you can see when we say 0, 0 means low here in the timing diagram, and 1 means it's high. Okay, so now you can see here, this is our X is 0, so we have a low value here. Okay, now we say next is again 0, so it means again low, again low. Then we say we have an input 1, so you can see this 1 is high. Again we have a 1, so this 1 means again high. Okay, so you can see we have a high value here. Now again see Y, so Y is 0, it is low. You can see this is low value, low value. Next is we have a 1, so you can see this 1 is a high. Next is we have a 0, so 0 is low, so you can see this is low 0. Now again we have a 1, so this 1 is this one, it's high. And now when we want to do the AND operation, right? Like maybe if I just erase this one and then I can this one. So now if I want to do like AND operation, so if I want x dot y, so x dot y is, you know that AND is AND operation. So now in AND I told you if any input is low, we will get 0. If any input low, we get 0. Any input low, now when both inputs are high, we get 1. Okay. And now you can see here, we want to draw this one in the timing diagram. 0 means low, you can see low. This 0 means low. This 0 means low. This 1 means high. Okay. So this way we can do our timing diagram. Now take just one more example for OR operation. So OR operation is x plus y, which is OR. So in the OR operation, when any input is low, sorry, when any input is high, we get 1. But now this is low, we get low. Now this is we get high. You can see any input is high, we get high. Any input we get high. And now you see we want to plot this one timing diagram. So we have this one low. Then this is high, we get this one. Again we have a high, we get this one. Again we have a high, we get this one. Okay, so this is the timing diagram. Okay, so I hope now you understand how we can draw or make the timing diagram. So timing diagram is actually based on the input and outputs. And here maybe this is again typo, so this is x plus y, okay, or x or y. Okay, so this one is our now x, this one is our input, this is also our input. X and y are our input and these are our outputs. This is our outputs. Our outputs. Okay, so this is a timing diagram. So any one of you have any question here? And remember this one is only for 2 inputs. So for 2 inputs we have 4 possible combinations. So n is equal to 2 means 2 variables, which is equal to 4. 4 means all possible combinations. That's why we have these 4 states like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So we have a 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are all 4 possible combinations of these 2 inputs, x and y. Okay, I hope you understand. But if you have any question, you may ask, and you can interrupt me that how we can get this one. So if you not interrupt or if you not ask, it means you understand. So I will move on to the next one. Okay, now let's take an example for 3 variables. Okay, now for 3 variables, so I mentioned now here we have a logic diagram and expression how we can make this one. So in this diagram we will learn 3 things. Okay, sorry, in this slide we will learn 3 things. One is truth table. Second is Boolean expression. And third is we will get logic diagram. But don't worry, we will do a lot. We will do a lot for truth table. This is just give you an overview, okay? Truth table, we will do many Boolean expressions. We will do many until I think you will feel boring. Then you will do like logic diagrams. So this one we will also do. And this one we will do a lot until you will be expert, I think. I think so. But if you have any questions, then you can ask, sure. Okay, now let's take an example. We have a truth table and we have given us the Boolean expression. So this is given us, okay, the Boolean expression. So now from this case, this is given us f is equal to x plus y bar and z. Okay. So I think for this one is let me take to the next slide. I think is better. Yeah, I think because it is first time, so I can teach here. Because this is first time, so I can teach you here step by step. So let's take an example here. And now we have given us f is equal to x or y complement and z. So now you can see here we have a three variables. And what we have to do, the requirement is make truth table, make truth table. Then second, find output, find output. And third one is make logic diagram, logic diagram. Okay. So first thing is make a truth table. And now remember here, we have a three inputs. You can see three variables, sorry. X is one variable, Y is second, and Z is. So it means 2 power. Now N is our 3. So it is equal to 8. It means 8 possible combinations, 8 possible combinations of input. Okay, 8 possible combinations of input. Now we have a, this one is X, this is Y, this is Z. Okay, now let me make a table here. And then X, Y, and Z. Now from this one is, the thing is when we have a three variable, just choose any side, okay? And you can choose like this one is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, and 1. So these are 8, okay? This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then this one is like you do 0, 1, 0, 1. Next is you can make two zeros, then 1, 1. Then again two zeros, again 2, 1. Then for this X, you can do like four zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, this one, 4. Okay, so this way you can do this one, but you can also do opposite. Okay, so you can also do other way, but it's okay. Just and now next is, you can see we want to do like X or Y bar. So it means first do this step. First do this step. So now we can do here. First find Y complement. Sorry. First find Y complement. How we can do the Y complement? So now we have to see only Y. Okay. Now we have to see only this y, okay, this y. And y bar means if 0, make it 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. So you can see now when we have a 0, we get 1, 0, we have a 1, 1, we have a 0, 1, we have a 0, 0, we have a 1, 0, we have a 1, 1, we have a 0, because we have a y bar, y complement. Maybe I can zoom this one. Okay. Now next thing is they say do this one y bar and z. So it means next is we can do y bar and z. So now again, so now remember the rule for and operation. What we have a rule is, the rule is when we have a both inputs are high, then our output will be high. Otherwise output is 0. So it means now consider this y and this z. So now you can see this one. Our this input is low, this is high. So this one will be low, right? So I can write here 0. Now again, this is high, this is high. So we can get this one high. Now this one you can see this is low, we can get 0, this is also 0, this is also 0, this is also, sorry, this one is high. This is 0, this is also 0. So now you can see this one is our input is low, we get low. Both inputs are high, so we can get high. Low, we get low. This is, we have a low, we get low. We have a low, we get low. Now our both inputs are high, we get high. Now this input is low, we get low. Now this input is again low, we get low. Okay, next thing is they say we have to do x, we have to do what? Next is we have to do x plus actually or y z. So now for this case, you have to consider this x, this one. So you have to consider this x and this one. So now we have a OR operation. OR means if any input is high, we will get high. So now you can see this 0 and this 0. So it means we will get low. Now this is our low, this is high. So the rule for OR is if any input is high, we will get 1. So we get 1. Now this one, we have a low, this is also low. So we will get low. Now for this one, we have a low, we have a low. So we will get low or 0. Okay. Now this one is high, this is low. So for OR is any input is high, we will get high. So we get 1. Now this one, we have a high, this is also high. So both inputs are high. Now again here you can see this is high, this is low, but our this is high, so we will get high. Again this is high, this is low, we will get high, right? So I can write here 1 and 1. So this is our actually, so this is our actually f is equal to this one. So now I can write here F. Okay, so this is our, we finish this step. Make the truth table. We finish this one. Find the output. We have an output. Now make the logic diagram. This is the third step. Make the logic diagram. How we can make the logic diagram? So now you see from here, first is we have a 3 inputs. So now please consider this one carefully, okay? Now first you can see we have a inputs X. So let's suppose we have a this X. This one we have a Y. And this one we have a Z. We have a 3 inputs. But now first is, because we have a function is this one. Maybe not right here. Maybe I can write here, okay? F is equal to X plus Y bar and Z. So now you see, first we have a NOT operation. So we have a gate for NOT, X NOT. So this means this one is now, I can zoom this one. Okay. So we have now, this one is Y naught, because we have a Y naught. Now Y naught and Z. So it means now we have a AND. So it means we need AND gate. So AND gate is like this. Okay. So we have a now this. So it means this output is now Y prime and Z, because this one is our AND gate. AND gate. Okay. Next is, now we perform this one, and now we need OR gate, OR. So for OR we can do, so our OR gate is look like this one. Okay, and then this input goes here and this input goes here. So this is now OR gate, and we get this one is our F, which is equal to X, because now this one is our X is equal, sorry, this is X plus Y prime and Z. So this is our logic diagram. So this is our logic diagram. So this thing we have to do like this. So this is the same slide what we did. So you can see now we have a same circuit here. We have a same logic diagram. Okay, you can see we have a same. So any one of you have any question? Do you guys have any question? Do you understand this one? This truth table, logic diagram, and the find output, how we can find output? Anyone has any question?
No question, Azan.
Okay. And how about others?
No, teacher.
I think we're in a
Okay. Okay. Is it clear, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So then we can move to the next one. So it means now this slide we done this one. So this one is done. Okay, so we can move to the next one. Now we have a Boolean algebra. Okay, so we have to study some basic properties that we will that we will that we will do in the future, or we will use in this course, some basic properties. So these properties are actually similar like the linear algebra. Okay, so some properties are look like the same like linear algebra. So I have to tell you just little bit like do the equivalence of linear algebra and the normal algebra. So but this one will be with respect to this digital logic design. So first is when we say about the algebra, so I hope every one of you know that the mathematical system which consists of set of elements, we have a set of operators, and we have a axiomals or postulates. So similarly, the same thing we will have here in this course as well. We have some set of elements, we have a set of operators, and operator we already study. If you remember, we have a operator, this one. I hope I told you here. Yeah, this one you can see the logical operations and, or, and not. Okay, then okay, then we have a some why this one is important, because it defines the rule of calculations. And then when we say about the set of elements, so look like we say we have a number 1 2 3 4, but here because we are dealing with the binary number, so we have a set like 0 1 0 1 something, like we have a bits in the form of bits. And operator we have a like we have a or we say plus, but now we have what we have a or. When we say negative, it means we have a complement. You remember, I hope you remember, because when every time we have a negative sign, it means we have to take the complement, either 2's complement or 10's complement or 9's complement or 1's complement. So when we say negative, it means complement. When we have an operator positive, it means we have a or. So it means or. This negative means complement. This star means we have an AND operation, AND gate. Okay, and then axioms. Axioms means we have a associative property. I hope you know this one, but we will study here. Distributive property, we have a closure property, we have a identity element, etc. So these properties are in the linear algebra, but the same properties we will use here in in Boolean algebra as well, or in digital logic design. So here we not say linear algebra, here we say Boolean algebra, okay, or Boolean logics, or Boolean algebra. Normally we use this one, okay. And then this is the scientist who worked on this Boolean algebra. So his name was George Boole. So based on his name, so we have a name like Boolean algebra. So he is the father of the Boolean algebra, George Boole. So his name was George Boole. So he worked on like AND gates, OR gates, and NOT gates. So these are the basic gates. So from these gates, we can design many more gates, which we will do as well. Okay. Now for the basic definition. Let's come to the basic definition. So now the basic definition is a set of collection. What is the set? So a set of collection of having the same property. So now set is X and Y are the elements, X and Y. Elements are events. For example, we have a S which is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if X we say 2, so it means X belongs to S. But if we say Y is equal to 5, so it means Y does not belongs to S. S means is a set. Okay. So a binary operator actually defines a set S of element in a rule that assigns to each pair of element from S a unique element from the S. So this is a basic definition for binary operator. That binary operator defines on a set S of element in a rule that assigns to each pair of elements from the set S. So a unique element is from the set of S. Now this one, and then now we can come to the postulates. Now we have a 5 postulates here. I think 5 or 6. Yes, 6. We have a 6 postulates. One is we have a closure property. We have a closure property. Okay. So second one is we have associativity property. Okay. Third one is we have a commutative law. Fourth one is we have a identity element. Fifth one is we have a inverse, and then sixth one is we have a distributive law. We have a distributive law. So then for the closure property is, let's take a set S is closed with respect to a binary operator. So now we have a binary operator, means we have a plus or complement, or we have a star, which means AND operator. So if every pair of element S of binary operator specifies a rule for obtaining a unique element of the S. For example, we have a set is 1, 2, 3, 4 is closed with respect to the binary operation plus by the rule of arithmetic addition. Since for any A and B belongs to N, there is a unique C that belongs to N. So it means now let's suppose we have a two numbers like A and B. We add two numbers and this number C should belongs to the N. If C belongs to this N, it means we have a closure property. Then for associativity property is, let's suppose we have a X star Y bracket, and then we have a again star, which is equal to X, which is equal to X star Y and Z. So it means X, Y, Z all belongs to S. So we can write this expression either X plus Y plus Z is equal to this one. So this is called the associative property. So the meaning for this one is we have a X into Y here, if you see here. So we have a X into Y, then we have a perform this function, then AND of Z. So we can write this expression as well, X star Y star Z. So this is called associativity property. Or we can say like X plus Y plus Z, which is equal to X plus Y plus Z. So either you can add this or you can add Y and Z, then you can get same answer. The answer will be the same. So this is called associativity property. Okay. Third one is we have a commutative law. So commutative law means okay. Then we have a commutative law. So commutative law means if you take the AND operation of two functions, X and Y, which is also equal to Y and X. Okay. Or we can say X or Y is equal to Y or X. So this is the same. So this is called commutative law. Now for the identity element. So identity element means, let's suppose we have a E identity. E into X is equal to X into E. Now E is identity, so E can be either 0 or 1. So now when we say 0 plus 1, so it is also equal to X plus 0, which is equal to X, which is equal to X. Now for this one, 1 into 1 and X, which is also equal to X and 1. So also equal to X. So this one is called identity element, that nothing effect happens. Okay, nothing will happen to the set or the value because we have identity value. Okay. Now for the inverse. So when we multiply with one value with this inverse, we get the identity value. So now a set having the identity element E with respect to the binary operator to have an inverse whenever for every x belongs to S, there exists an element y belongs to S such that if you multiply x into y, which is inverse, because this is value, this is the inverse. So when you multiply x and its inverse, you will get identity value. Okay, you will get the identity value. The last one is distributive law. So distributive law says that if and or are two binary operators on a set S, so star is said to be distributive over. So star is said to be, or maybe and is said to be distributive over R. So we can write this expression x and y into z is equal to x into y and x into z. Okay, so this is called distributive law. So this is called the distributive law. So same thing now we can write here. So based on this one, we will have some examples, not now, after some slides. So we will use this one: commutative law, associative law, distributive law, identity element, and inverse. So based on these properties, we will have some examples as well for the Boolean algebra. Okay. Now the next section is about the axiomatic definition of Boolean algebra. So now here we will learn three things. So the order of the evaluation of the Boolean expression is, we have one, we say literals. Okay, what is the literal? We have a literals, we have a product term, we have a sum of term. So literal means a variable or its complement is called a literal. Okay, and when we say product, so literals means a variable connected by and is called product term. Then sum of term, so literals connected by positive or operation is called sum term. Okay, so now for literal is a variable or its complement. Product term is literals connected by and operation. Sum terms means literal connected by positive sum. And we also use something in the terminology parenthesis, not, and or. And we can write expression like this. Let's take an example. Like we have a f which is equal to a, and then we have a parenthesis b plus c. So it means b or c. And then we have an and operation, c or d prime. So you can see now here, if you see here, so here we have these all three terminology. We have a literals, we have a product term, we have a sum of term. So these are the terminologies from the axiomatic definition of Boolean algebra. Okay. Now we have this thing we already done, but actually this thing comes from the postulate of two variables of Boolean algebra. So now we have a B. B is the set, like we have a 0 and 1, 0 and 1, and two binary operators. We have a or and. So the rules of operators are and, or, and not. So now this thing we already done, and operation, or operation, and not operation. So we already done this one. So I think no need to do this one. Okay, so I will not explain this one again. Now for this one, if you see the closure property, so now for it, this one is closure with respect to or and operation, and then the identity element here is 0 and 1. So we have identity element 0 or 1. Then for the from this one we have a commutative law. Then we have a distributive law. Okay. Then from the distributive law we have its complement, and then 6 we have two distinct elements like 1 and 0 from here. So complement, I hope you know complement means if we have a 0 take it 1, if we have 1 take it 0. So this is just for the overview. So we will use this one later on, okay? Okay, so now we have these basic theorems. So these theorems you have to remember maybe because now it is online classes, so it's okay. You have an open book, but if you are on site, so maybe this is a closed book. But now because online, so we have an open book exam or quiz. So these are the postulates which you should know. So postulate two is like x plus x or 0 we have a x, or x and 1 we have a x. Then actually this one is following from the book, okay? So that's why I mentioned postulate 2. So I just copy this table from your book. Then postulate 5 means, when we say postulate 5, it means x or x prime is equal to 1. Then x or x prime means when you take the number and its complement, you add both or take a OR operation, you will get 1. The meaning is this one. So when you take the function x and its inverse and then you do the AND operation, you will get 0. Then theorem 1. Theorem 1 is when you take x or x, you will get x. So it is not a plus, okay? It is OR operation. It is Boolean expression. So when you take, so please remember, when you say this one, it means OR. When you say this, it means AND. So when we have a x or x, we will get x. So if you multiply or take a AND, so x and x, we get x. What is the meaning for this one? Let's suppose we have a x is 1. So then x plus x is equal to x. So we have a 1 or 1. So it means when both inputs are high, you can see our both inputs are high, our output is high. Okay, the meaning is this one, okay? Not this one, 1 plus 1 is equal to, it's wrong. We are now dealing with binary numbers. Okay? The meaning is this one. And similarly from here, if you see here now, when we say 1 and 1, both inputs are high, we will get 1. So it is x and x, we get x. Okay. Similarly, theorem 2 says that if you have a theorem 2 is, we have an input x. So we have an input x or 1, we will get high, because when you add high in any input, you will get output high. Now when you multiply any input with 0, so you will get output low. I hope you know for AND operation. So AND operation means when both inputs are high, we will get high. Otherwise we will get 0. So this is AND operation. This is OR. Now for theorem 3 is when you take the complement, x complement, and then again take the complement, you will get real value. Let's take an example here. If you say x is 1, so it means x prime is 0. Now 0 again take its complement, so you get 1. So you can see x is the same 1. Okay, and then we have a commutative law, which is x plus y is equal to y plus x, and then x and y is equal to y and y. Then associativity, so this is associativity property. Then distributive means x into y plus z is equal to this one. xy plus xz. So this is distributive property. Okay. And then again here x plus yz is equal to x plus y, x plus z. Then De Morgan theorem. So this theorem you can remember, this is very important. De Morgan theorem. So we will use this one a lot. So De Morgan theorem means if you have, De Morgan theorem says that if you have a plus, change it to and. Change it to and. So you can see now x or y and then its complement is equal to x complement and y complement. And then when you have a x and y complement, it means just change dot, or maybe because here we have a and operation, so change and to or x prime or y prime. This is the De Morgan theorem. And then absorption property is x plus yz. This is x plus x into y is equal to x. And then again here okay, so this one is called absorption property. So these are the theorems which we will use to find the different functions or to solve different functions. And then we have some more rules. So this one is from the proof of the theorems. So now we will do some, here we have some theorem and we have to prove by using the different properties. So let me finish this slide, then we can finish our this lecture. So here is we have again just for recall, we have 5 postulates. Postulate 1 is closure, then postulate 2, then we have postulate 3, postulate 4, and postulate 5. So these postulates we already have here, okay. So we have a postulate 1, postulate 2, postulate 3, postulate 4, and postulate 5. So remember this thing. Okay. So these are the different postulates, and now based on this table 2.1 and based on this Huntington postulate, based on this one. So we will do some proof here, which we will do maybe next week. So I think we can finish here our class, and then we will continue next week. So let me mark your attendance first. Okay, so Mr. Thanapat,